Some people have been asking, is there some upgrades to the build, especially if they get their hands on a Mageblood or a Headhunter, and just asking in general, is Arn's Anguish actually just that good that you don't want to replace it? You can have theory craft things and put them into Path of Building and test stuff, but I like to test things in game. So I got a Mageblood, decent one here, not a corrupted one, and I wanted to test things out. If we go quickly here into the passive tree, I have reskilled it a lot, and I've gone into a third large cluster over here because the Mageblood has relieved some pressure on my affixes, and I was juggling a bit of back and forth whether to go Impale or not, but I couldn't really. The numbers weren't good enough, so I tried just to keep the setup as before. And the reason why some things have changed is, if we check here, I am at a 96% crit rate all the time. That is what you get with Mageblood. You get speed and you get consistency. So all of these flasks here, they are on me all the time. If I remove this one, look at the crit. It goes down to 80%. If I remove this one over here, this is, I only need one tattoo on my setup. Let's see here. Yeah, stun avoidance only 10%. Then I put this one on, and then I'm at 105%. So crit capped, stun immune. This one here, avoid being shocked during effect. This is that I don't have to run Purity of Elements anymore, because I am now using, here it is, Storm Shroud. So modifiers to chance to avoid being shocked apply to all elemental ailments. Meaning if I remove this one here, let's see over here, I don't have the avoidance for the other elements. I put this one on, I'm at 116, so I'm avoiding everything. Same as with, it's the same job as Purity of Elements did before. So basically this one here, along with a dual socket, and this one over here, granting me elemental resistances. Don't even look at the chaos resistance at top. This is basically what Purity of Elements were doing for me. So Mageblood gave me a 50% mana reservation back by freeing up 2 flask slots. I mean, that should be really good, right? And if we look at the number down here, Shieldcross, it has like a huge number in game. But bear in mind, this is my top end. I don't scale this in any way. Mageblood is consistency. You don't have any flask you put up. You don't, well, I can put on Blood Rage and the damage goes up a little further, but I don't have anything else. I don't get the brutal charges from Arn's Anguish, and there's a lot of things, like, you just have the numbers. But let's go into Path of Building. Oh, by the way, you can see the movement speed out here is nice. If I put on a flask here saying that I always have Onslaught, then I become a lot faster. It's actually a little annoying to look at, so I chose to have this. It's nice for moving around in town. But let's go have a look here in the Path of Building. So this is a Mageblood version. You can recognize the tree out here. And the setup has changed a little. I still have the 2 Forbidden Gems, jewels, so I can use Weapon Master. This one over here takes care of my Chaos Rest. So here I have my Mana Leech. And here is Storm Shroud. Up here, just 2 very good Viridian jewels, but still just rares. In order to get spell suppression capped, I have, let me see, oh, this one is not updated. So let's click this one here. Because I am in fact spell suppression capped. Yes, here they were. Same setup before. I just hadn't updated the 2 suppression tattoos here. So you can see I'm at 101 spell suppression instead of 97. But the rest is still the same. If we look at the damage numbers, one wave, which is, this number is up all the time. So if I double it like I usually do, because on single target you will be overlapping, 35 million. EHP 170, but this is not too important. Don't look at this. Look at the max hits the build can take. So they are absolutely fine, but nothing extraordinary. The total life is a little lower than what I was running around with Orange Anguish, which makes sense because there's a lot of life percent on Arns. But yeah, 35.1 million. And then if we check out here, I haven't placed the banner, so the damage of course goes up. But I have 4 Spider's web stacks from Aspect of the Spider. And then I don't really have anything else to click on here. So this is the top end. If we compare it to this one over here, this is my my old. You can see the tree is different here, and this setup here is using Orange Anguish. The life is a little higher, like 100 higher. Resist still pretty much the same, still suppression capped. So the EHP is a little lower on this one for some reason. But if we look at the Fizz max, that is almost 31k, and elemental hit at 91 and chaos at 61. If we go back, it is pretty much the same we have here. So Mageblood has a little higher numbers on the EHP, but the pool is a little lower, so I'd say it's probably fairly even there. But then we get to the damage, because if we check these boxes here, you can see it's still the same: intimidated, crushed, melee distance to enemy, fortified, onslaught, spider's web. Also, it's level 84 enemies and guardian pinnacle bosses. So this is, oh, I haven't put this one on. So have I killed recently? If I put this one on, I also had that in the, actually, if I go back and uncheck this one, we go down to a little below 32 million. And in here, it is, yeah, 29.8. So there's a little loss here. But then we have the upside, because I can actually start using flasks. So if I put on Lion's Roar, 32.8. If I put on my Surgeon's Flask, 35.5. And then the big one, Bottled Faith, 46.4 million now. And actually, I have Aurea's in here to get some explosions. So if I want more damage, I actually have an extra free flask slot here. I have to click my flasks. That is of course something, but look at this number. It is way higher than with the Mageblood on. And if I go back, here you can see the movement speed modifier is 135% with the Mageblood setup, and if I go back here, so 112. So it is of course lower, and this is whenever I have Onslaught on, so it's when I've been hit. And even if you don't have 10 charges like I do, if you only have 8, let's see here, if you only have 8 Frenzy and Endurance charges, you're still getting Onslaught for 40 seconds. And you usually get hit once or twice within a period of that amount. So I'm a bit on the fence here, because Mageblood is nice. Like, it's really nice just running around in town at high speed. But is it 300 Divine good? Not so much, but this is all numbers. So let's go in game and have a look at a map and see how that feels. Here you can see a map at tier 17 that I prepared. It is very similar to what I'm usually running. It might actually be on the tame side of things. And here you could see the multiplier of the passive Atlas. And you can see the character is moving smoothly. I have phasing, which is really nice because then I can just move through packs. In this regard, it actually reminds me a lot of the Raider I designed last league. And well, now Raider no longer exists, so I had to try and find another thing, a way of building the Shield Crush character. I'm I'm standing still a lot, you can see, so in this regard I don't really benefit too much from the movement speed, based on how the previous version of the build was. I am less reliant on shield charge to move around packs, so it is a bit more relaxed because I don't have to move my mouse cursor as much in order to navigate the battlefield. But the damage is pretty similar. If you check back on the numbers from the two builds, I would never have Bottle Faith on when moving around in the map. That's only for very tanky rares and special occasions for that. So the damage is similar here to like the Anguish one and the Mageblood, pretty much equal. In the fight here, there are two upsides I will cover. One is the movement speed. When you have to dodge mechanics in a fight, I actually don't because I have so much defense here, but it allows me to, you can see here I sidestepped, I didn't even have to use a movement skill in order to get around it. Same thing here, stepping on all of the corpses so they don't become animated and explode whenever they would touch me. It gives me a lot of like extra time. You can see I'm just waiting for the next phase to begin. So instead of being on the back heel, I can actually just get to where I need to be, and it is less stressful. So that is a big upside. Also, in boss fights like this, where there is a lot of phases, I will usually not be relying on my flasks. They won't be up all the time. I will only use them at the end for certain phases that I know are dangerous, and if I just need to get things done. So the consistency of Mageblood here for having the flasks up all the time is amazing. So not gonna lie on that one. This is two big upsides with the Mageblood. But again, is it that much better? The time on the boss is pretty much the same as I'm used to, and maybe if I save this a couple of seconds here and there, I mean, it doesn't make that much of a difference. So outmapping again here, I just wanted to show a little bit more of the movement, because as you can see, the extra movement speed is, I don't really cash in on it that much here. I could, it's a little more relaxed moving around than using shield charge, because sometimes you won't be aiming far enough away, or there might be something on the ground that keeps you from moving. So in that regard, Mageblood is better, but still the damage numbers are like, the potential with Anguish is much higher. So I mean, I can't judge for other people, but looking at this, I am not too impressed about it when you compare the price tag on the items. But the tankiness here, it is pretty much like I'm used to, and I just wanted to show that even though I've been clicking a lot of altars in here, the build is still very tanky, and well, also not just to put up a too pretty of a picture, then look here. I'm not entirely sure what happened, because I've been standing in that melee distance several times over this map, and nothing has happened. So I'm not sure what actually did me in there. It could be some very lucky damage rolls from the monsters, but when I rewatched the footage, it looked like I was just being chunked twice, and that was it. And yeah, jokes on me here for going back to that monster. I should probably just have taken the Q and left. But this is what happens in tier 17s. Sometimes you just encounter a rare which does weird stuff, and then you're down. Mageblood or Anguish. I am still a little bit on the fence, because there is a lot of potential with Mageblood, and there are probably ways where I could optimize the output of it way further than I have. I didn't spend that many hours reskilling. So compared to the effort I put into Arn's Anguish versus the Mageblood setup, then of course I have more hours on the Arn's setup, so I know that a little bit better. But the difference that I've been feeling really does not warrant the price tag of Mageblood. The only upside I really have for it is to move around quicker in town, which is of course still something. And I am also aware that I have a very, very good Arn's Anguish. I paid 4 or 6 divines for this one, I can't recall. But if I hold down Alt, you can see both the life modifiers on it are max rolls. So first it has to get the 15, and then it also has to be corrupted to a max. And then I quality it up myself. But let's say like 10 divines for something like this. Then Mageblood is, let's see how much it is right now. Yeah, around 300 divines. So do you get almost 300 divines worth of value from Mageblood compared to a very available build? I'm going back to I'm going to sell my Mageblood and go back to Arn's Anguish, because honestly I feel it's just better overall. Because I realized something. So if we go into the path of buildings, this is the this was the wrong one. Here we have the Mageblood. You see the EHP is at 170 and the max hits are 31.3 and 94. And this is mainly because of this mastery here. If I unclick it, you see it goes down a lot. So it's 152 and the other max hits are lower. If I go into the Arn's Anguish one, I don't have that mastery on. So if I were to sacrifice some damage by clicking this one, I know I'm losing some, but I don't have this. This is 80, no, not 80. It is, it is 80% evasion rating and armor rating that I'm getting for clicking this. Now look at the EHP. It goes way above than what I have on the Mageblood. There is of course the movement speed, but as you saw in the mapping scenario, it is nice, but it's not that nice. So if I were to put some judgment on it, Mageblood is probably amazing and best in slot for a lot of builds, but this one in particular, because of the charge stacking, the interaction with Ralakash Impatience and Masterful Form on a Slayer, I'll have to give the nod to Arn's Anguish. I think this is a better solution for this build when it comes down to facing off against these. So I hope this put a little light on the discussion. I will of course include the 2 POBs in the description so you can go and judge for yourself. And well, just thanks for watching. I hope it was worth your time, and have a good one.